All right, boom. What is up, everyone? It's 6:01. I was a little bit late pulling the trigger, but how's it going, everyone? If everyone can jump over to the Project GSD Mastermind group, I've started a thread there, or maybe we will. Maybe what we'll do is we'll go like this. I'll make a new one. Everyone, jump in there, and who is with us live? Let's go. One sec. Awesome. What's going on, everyone? We'll make sure we give everyone a couple minutes just to make sure that we jump on, and we'll start right at 5 after. We got a lot of cool success stories. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen some of the posts that we've done, recognizes the people, and so we're going to have Justin, David, and Eric come out and share some stuff from them, what they've been able to accomplish over the last little bit, some of the stuff that they've been able to go through to be able to help you guys all out. What's up, Josh? How's it going, boss? Awesome. So we'll wait for a couple more minutes, and we're gonna go straight. We'll go till 7, because everyone, we do have the elite hangout right after at 7. So I want to make sure that everyone that is an elite does get a chance to hop over there and jump in the mastermind with Cameron and Kayala. All right, Dan, what's up, buddy? Phil, how's it going, boss? All right, we'll wait for a couple more minutes, and then we'll just get started. Maybe I should just start starting right at 6. Feel like if you're late, don't be late. You're gonna miss it. Maybe I'll do that. I'm just gonna start right now. Screw it. If you're late, you're late. All right. maybe I'll just start doing that, and then we'll just make sure that people come on time. Otherwise, you guys gotta watch the replay. Okay. We want to make sure that we get the most out of this as we possibly can. So, guys, you guys have probably saw some crazy success stories over the last little bit. It's been really cool to see. And so what I wanted to be able to do here is just kind of bring everyone out, just to be able to share some of their experiences, what they've been able to accomplish so far. And hopefully you guys are going to be able to kind of see and relate to some of their stories and relate to some of the things that they've kind of gone through, and allow you to take that information and be able to apply it to your own business and your own life for yourself, to make sure that you guys can really start to progress as much as physically possible. So for everyone, I see there's some more viewers popping on now. If everyone can hop over. What's up, Lyndon? How's it going, Eric? What is up? Just pop in. We're going to use this thread for the chat. Awesome. So the first guy I want to bring out here is David. So, I mean, you guys have all seen a lot of the stuff that David's been able to do in the last little bit. And, you know, just as everyone, I mean, there's always been up and downs as you go through everything here. And what's been really cool is now he just hit me up the other day, and he goes, dude, I don't know what's going on. I'm getting like 55-cent leads. It's like high score. What does that mean? I don't know what's happening. And that's really cool to see, because it's like we're showing people how to get, you know, as long as you're getting 50-cent clicks, that you're good. So if you're getting leads for 55 cents, I mean, that's unreal, dude. And so, David, if you want to pop out and just share a little bit of your story, where you kind of, why you got started, what you've been able to do progressively, if there's any challenges that you've overcame or anything like that that you'd like to share with everyone, feel free, boss.
Yeah, you know, basically the reason I got started in this was, you know, coming from quite a different background of a lot of different experiences. You know, I've had my fair share of ups and downs. A lot, you know, one thing about myself that really nobody in this whole group knows. When I was fairly young, I was actually pretty successful. I actually started a small business when I was in college, and was actually pretty successful at a very young age, but got involved with the wrong people. Some things happened that were really out of my control. Got with some people that now in jail for some fraudulent things that they did, and I actually lost everything I had. And basically, it was about a year ago, living with my in-laws, my wife's parents. We were living there at rock bottom, and you know, it was one of those things where I had kind of given up hope, because I had done so well, but lost everything. And you know, when you go through that, it really tests you in terms of what you're going to do. And you have to kind of make the decision that you're either going to, move forward and and you're going to pick yourself up, or you're going to just give up. And it came to a point where I made a decision that, look, I'm not living like this anymore. I have to make a change. I have to do things differently. I have to get back on my feet to where I was. It wasn't right away that this opportunity came along, but for quite some time I was really wanting to get into online business. That was really my goal. The main reason that I do this is because I wanted to travel and really be able to do things on my own terms. For me, it was more time freedom. When I first got started, it wasn't about making $50,000 a month, or even $20,000 a month, or $10,000 a month. It was to be able to make an average full-time income while not having to go to work every day. That was what really got me started in this. And I kind of, when I saw this opportunity, I jumped in, and at first it was like, all right, let's really give this like a year game plan, 24 months at the most, and then really build this thing up over time and get it where it needs to be. It's funny because one of the things that Matthew always says is it was easy, right? It was easy to get to where you are. And I look back, and it's funny because it's like a paradox, because it really has been easy, but it's been so fucking hard at the same time. Like, so many things, so many little things, that it's ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. All the highs and the lows and the problems that come, and but it's, the main thing that I've learned through this entire thing, in correlation to the things that I went through in my past, is really, there's nothing that you can't overcome. There's nothing out there, period, point blank. It does not matter what it is. There's nothing out there that you can't overcome. And I was really, I was on the brink of probably having my first $10,000 a month a couple months ago. And then boom, Facebook shut my ad account down. Like right when I was, rolling. I mean, things were just hitting like nonstop, and boom, I was at a dead stop. Had to, completely start over. But you learn from those experiences, and it's made me sharper. It's made me plan ahead more, to realize that things aren't always going to go perfect, but the solutions are often easier than what you think they are. And at the end of the day, it's really just, as I always say, just really having the balls to just push through the crap that's going to come, because it's never going to be seamless. It may be easy, but it's never going to be seamless. And unfortunately, that's just life in general. And it goes right along with this business that anybody can do it. I mean, I was blessed after I lost everything. My one trade that I did for a while was roofing. I was a roofer for quite some time. I got lucky with a sales job, coming after I had lost the small business that I had started, and I was blessed with that opportunity, and it really, it makes you realize that even when you're at your bottom, things will happen if you have the right mindset to come back.
Absolutely, dude. And what's cool about that is when you notice how, like, you have everything, right? It's working, stuff's going, and then it's completely taken away from you, right? And then notice how all of a sudden, obviously you didn't come through the opportunity right away, but what did you start doing? You started thinking about, okay, you know what? I need to look for something. I need to find something that's going to allow me to live the life that I want to live. And it was no accident that you stumbled across one of our ads. You set an intention. You were looking like, okay, well, I want to be able to travel more. I want to have life on my own terms. I want to be able to do these things. And so you started actively focusing on the solution rather than focusing on the situation that you're in and where you're at. And of course, what happens? You find a solution and you start working through it. And just like you said, and it's funny when you say this, we always say it's super easy, because once you've done it, and you look back, you're like, damn, really, like, that was easy. But while you're doing it, it doesn't seem easy. It doesn't seem easy. There's a lot of ups and downs. You get an ads account shut down. Maybe you don't get ads that are converting for a long time. You run into a lot of stuff that makes you feel like, oh, this is so hard. And it's funny, and Justin pulled that up the other day. It was hard compared to what? And it's Cam used to rock me with that all the time. He goes, because I'd be like, man, this is hard. He goes, hard compared to what? He goes, it's hard when you're working construction, banging a hammer for 12 hours a day, going and doing that, or comparing it to all these other things. And oh, sorry, was there something you want to touch on about?
No, keep going.
Oh yeah, so this is what's kind of cool is when you start to see that, and now that you've done it, right? Now that you're like on pace, and even before when you're on pace to doing 10K, like where else can you all of a sudden, like it's been less than a year, and be able to engineer an income that you pretty much this month you're pretty much almost guaranteed to be able to do 10K as long as you go through and keep doing what you're able to do with the numbers that you have right now. And so when you look at it now and you look back over the stuff that you're doing, because what you're doing now is it's easy. It is pretty easy when you look at it now because you've learned it. Was it easy right from the very beginning? No, probably not. And there's probably things that you came into where it took you a little bit to learn stuff. Maybe that was creating ads, or maybe it was building pages, or whatever it may have been. And there's hard things that come into place. Like you just said, there's never a time in the world where everything's just going to work perfectly and there's going to be magic and rainbows and unicorns all day, every day. It just doesn't happen. In life, in business, in anything, you're going to come through those things. But what's awesome about those things is the reason why those things happen is just because what you said. Exactly. When you go through and have an ads account shut down or go through any of those experiences, those happen for a reason. Why does it happen? Because now you learn to plan ahead. Now I bet you got a backup account ready, and if you ever get an account shut down, guess what? You're up and running right away because now you know how to plan ahead, which would have never happened if you didn't get an account shut down, right? And so it's like, and so it's like looking through all those things that happen, and there's a lot of you guys that are probably here right now with us where you are, I can guarantee you, you're going to run into stuff. You're going to run into stuff that doesn't work every time. You're going to run into maybe an ad account got shut down. I've had probably 8. You know what I mean? Like you're going to run into speed bumps and hiccups, but when you can look at it from a point where it's like, okay, you know what? Maybe this isn't the greatest thing to happen in the world. My account got shut down. It sucks. Right? Everything that happens is like kind of a test for you, and the one quote I always come back with from Think and Grow Rich is every temporary defeat comes with a seed of equal or greater benefit. You look at that, what did that allow you to do? It allowed you to learn from that and now be prepared and start to think kind of forward and plan ahead for things so that you're not caught off guard, which that mentality, when you take that into every other area of your business, is going to help you so much more that you learned it earlier. Right, and now got it kind of early on, and that's the thing for all you guys watching right now. You are gonna run into situations like that, and just expect it. And when you do run into something, know that every temporary defeat comes with a seed of equal or greater benefit, and there's a reason why things don't go perfectly, because you're never gonna do something to be perfect every time. You're gonna run into things that don't work, and it's there for you to learn from it. And you should and be grateful that you learned from it. I think I mentioned with Terrence Martin, one of the guys that was saying it took me 3 weeks or 4 weeks to finally get an ad under 44 cents a click. And the reason why that happens is because what happens now over those 3 or 4 weeks, when you finally get that ad through split testing, you learned how to split test over those 3-4 weeks. So that's why it took that long, because if you just got one that crushed it right from the beginning, and then all of a sudden a month later it's not working anymore, you got to make a new one, well, you don't even know what you're doing because you randomly threw one up and it worked, right? You are being put through tests constantly. So if it's taking you a while to get some sales, taking you a while to get ads converting, you're going to run into stuff, and know that everything is there to test you. It's going to see, like, do you really want it? Are you really going to want to push through it? And this is why I really like a lot when David's saying that it's more so about the freedom. I notice that the people that are in this for like the time freedom and like they associate the value more to what the income's going to do for them, like get them out of their job, allow them to travel, and it's bigger than the money. You know, like who it's going to help. Those are the people that tend to push through more, because if you're only looking for the money's not even really what you guys want. And this is the thing that's hard to kind of get for some people. Everyone comes in here and thinks it's like, I want to make $10,000 and I just want to make it because I want to make it, right? But it's not the $10,000 that you want. It's what that $10,000 a month is going to do for your life, right? Because if $10,000 had no value and it wasn't going to do anything for you, why the hell would you want money? You want to do it so that you can get out of your job, or so you can travel more, or so you can be free, or so you can do things that you love. Those are the things that you want to focus on, and money's just going to be a byproduct Oh, I didn't even notice that you popped up there. Money,
Yeah,
but
internet.
it's all good, dude. It's all good. But what I just really like that, and what's really cool is that we have people, guys, from all walks. Now, some of you guys right here, it might be the financial reasons that you're here. You're here to make more money, to give a better life to your family, or have a nicer house, or do those things. But then there are going to be people on the opposite side of the spectrum that are going to relate a little bit more to David, where it's like, it's not the money that you need, it's the freedom that you want. You're already making decent money. You want to be able to get to a point where you're, yeah, you want to be able to get to a point where you are free. You maybe have the money, but your time, you have no time. You're focusing all your time on. I had a guy hit me up just the other day, and he goes, "Matt, I love what you're doing. I'm actually making pretty good money, but because I went through school forever, I have $150,000 in student loans. I make a great income, but now with all this, I have no way to support it. And not only that, like I don't have the time to be able to do anything, right? And you're gonna get people like that. You're gonna get people like like Nate Smith is in the same situation. Ray Kakuta. Look at Ray. Ray was in CEO making 200 plus K a year. But why does he do this? Because he wants the time freedom. Think about that. A lot of you guys are like even when you are just associating it to the money, and it's like, oh, I want to make 100K a year or 200K a year. We have people in here that are making 200K a year already. That are like, it's not the money, right? I'm making the money. I have the nice cars. I have the nice house. I have no freedom. I need to be able to do things that I love and do stuff. And so it's really it's cool to see, because you've been able to come through with really really it hasn't even been that long. Like when I compare it to like when I didn't make a $10,000 a month until like 2 years in. And it took me like 6 months. And for those of you guys that are struggling with ads, if you guys are new here, just if you guys don't know this, when I first started doing Facebook ads, we didn't have a system like this. I was building all my own stuff. It took me 6 months to get a $25 sale, right? 6 months, and I spent $2,000. I spent $2,000 and made 25 bucks, right? At the time, I was not happy. Like I was like, I spent $2,000. So before I made that sale, I was kind of a little bit like, oh man, like what do I do? But I finally made that first sale, and I was stoked. I spent $2,000 to make 25 bucks, and I was excited. I was pumped up because all I needed to see was that it worked. And that's what some people, when you're here, all you need to see is that first commission or that first something, and you get that little taste, and then you know it's real, right? And this is why I want to be able to bring out people like David, because David's going to come out and share a story like that where he had it, right? And then it got all taken away from him. And then he started focusing on, okay, well, what can I do? Is there looking for some sort of solution? And see, this is when you start focusing on the solution, you start to attract different opportunities all over. And this probably wasn't the only opportunity that he would have attracted. If he passed this up, there would have been something else that would have came along to it, because he was focusing on where he wanted to go and not where he was right now, right? And this is where you want to look a lot of the times too. Is a lot of people will have beliefs about money, that making money is difficult, and they look at their situations and they're not doing very well with money, living paycheck to paycheck. And people, it's very, very hard when you're in a situation like that to not focus on it, because money's the biggest stressor in the world. And so if you're focused on stress and focused on money and not having enough, which is very easy to do when you're in that situation, you start to create more of that. You create more of not having enough. And so when you start to shift that and go, okay, you know what, enough's enough, instead of me focusing on not having enough, let me focus on let's focus on the solution and only focus on the solution, right? Because there's always a solution for everything, and there's always something that you can get past. Just like David was saying, there's always, no matter what, a way to get past the obstacle that's in front of you. Always, no matter what the hell happens, you can always find a solution. It might not be or seem like it's easy at the time, right? But after you get through it, I guarantee you're going to look back and go, damn, this is pretty easy. I'm going to bring out, and we'll bring you back out, David, in a little sec. We'll make sure that we get Justin up here. Like, I'll bring out Justin, and I can guarantee you when he looks back, he's going to go, honestly, making $10,000 a month was way easier than me working at a job. You know what I mean? Because there's way more work ethic, and this is what's so cool. It's like the same thing. And one of the things I love about Justin, about your story and about seeing you progress, is that when you came to the event, and after that last, what was it, the last day with No, the Saturday. I think it was a Saturday with this mind's slipping me right now. But it was Todd, right? Saturday with Todd, and we did that one exercise. And I'm with a group, and I got my group here, and we're facing, and we got a U of people, and then one person that sits in the front and shares their vision of like what they believe. And the whole exercise, the point of it was that you had 10 people around in a U, and then one person, one by one, sat in the front, spoke to those people in their U, and you had to kind of speak your vision and what you wanted to create, and everyone was standing up. Everyone was sitting down, and as soon as they felt that you were passionate and you believed in yourself, then everyone all of a sudden stood up, and if they stood up, that means they believed you, and you were passionate enough, you were speaking from your heart, and that was something that people could believe you were passionate about. Well, I'm paying attention, and Carlson's in my group, and Carlson went up and shared his, and we'll get to that in a little bit after this, and I was just like pumped. I heard Carlson, so I had tears in my eyes when I'm giving him a hug, and then all of a sudden I hear screaming. I hear screaming behind me, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I look behind me, and he's like, I'm going to do this. And you were so certain, right? You had this crazy breakthrough where now it was like, I am going to do this. And you were so certain in your ability that when you left, you were going to go home, and you were going to crush this. And what does that do? That mindset is now taken into every action and everything you do in your life, in your business. And what do you see now? Now it's all starting to come to fruition. So I'd love for you to come out and share a bit, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, from Hawaii, just the clarity that happened is amazing. Just knowing 100% I was going to make it, and then just it unfolding and watching it all happen, just proving myself that much more. But
yeah, that's what's awesome. So why don't you start with like where you were at, and like why did you get started here, and then kind of progress into where you are now?
Yeah, so I was doing tires in a barrier. I always wanted to do something online. I always wanted to travel, and I was always looking for something, a way to make money online. I tried some other opportunities that didn't succeed for me. I tried to even come up with some of my own inventions, trying to make money, and nothing worked out for me. I tried my own businesses, doing website design, graphic design, stuff like that. Just nothing panned out. But I always knew that I wanted to have more freedom and be able to make an income while traveling. And it didn't really come to me, or I just kind of passed it by. I just kind of settled for work in the 9 to 5, doing tires or whatever, until I got in a car accident and threw out my back, and I was out, couldn't work for a bit, and then living with my girlfriend, and at the time we broke up, and out of nowhere I found myself real fast living out of my car with my dog, nowhere to go, and not wondering what the hell is next. What do I do here? So I had one of my buddies drive me out back into Surrey, and I reconnected with Matt and saw what he was doing and the success that he was building on, and I asked him, I was like, oh man, I'm ready, I need to do this, I'm all in. And from there I just listened to everything he had to say. He told me to read a book. I read that book. He said that we needed to go out to Hawaii and make that real to see the event. I went out to that event, and just from there, slowly, listening to everything he said and it coming out, and it's just the progress that I've had, and yeah.
That's awesome, dude. So when you first got started, did you have the money to come up with TM?
No, not at all at the time, because I was on temporary disability leave, EI, so I had to accumulate that up a couple pay periods. So it took a full month actually from seeing it and paying for that. And then on top of that, coming up with ad budget. So I was like, oh shit, now what do I do? So I started selling everything I could. I was like, okay, well, I got this. And then from there, I got a couple sign-ups, and I compounded that, kept compounding until today I'm spending over $150 a day in marketing.
Yeah, dude. See, and I want you guys to think about this, because some of you guys here right now didn't have the money to get started, or maybe right now, oh no, everyone in the GSD group is in Dubai, so you guys have all already got started, but some of you guys, it might have been a stretch to come up with PPA, or it might have been a stretch to come up with TM, right? But look what Justin did. He stretched because he knew he was gonna do it, and he was gonna make it happen no matter what. And what happens once you got it? Now you need an ad budget. What did he do? Instead of focusing on not having the money, not having the ad budget, not having the money, it was how do I come up with the money to spend on my ads to focus on my business? How do I do it? Not I can't do it. How do I figure out how to get the money? Because the thing is, we are surrounded by abundance. And even if you're working at a job, I was living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't have enough money. Even when I first joined, I didn't have enough money. Like I put myself into overdraft for that to join my first opportunity. And then I didn't have enough money for really anything. So I did the same thing as Justin. And I feel you. Because guess what? The material shit, I knew I could buy all that shit later. I sold a scooter, I sold a car, I sold a PlayStation, a TV. If you saw my house, it had a couch and a table, and that was it. Like that's all I had in there because I just sold everything I possibly could. I helped people move. I did everything because Justin, when you're like you're thinking about it and you're like, okay, well I need to come up with an ad budget. What did you do when you're like, okay, well what can I possibly, what do I do here? Like what do I do to come up with money for that? Like how did you come? Did you just start focusing on solutions? Like what did you start doing there?
Yeah, I just focused on. I looked around my room. I was like, yeah, I know I want to make this business happen, 100%. What can I do for it? Look around my room. Okay, I don't need these DVDs. I don't need this PlayStation. I got an extra computer. I don't really need 2 computers right now. I just really downsized absolutely nothing to where I just had my clothes in my bed and my 1 computer and my phone. And I just went all in. I mean, I knew I hit rock bottom and I knew that was it. And I recently have found out that I have a girlfriend that's pregnant now too. So I'm like, okay, I'm not bringing a child into this world where I'm barely struggling and paying bills. This is it. I'm making this happen. I am going to succeed. And that from there it just all unfolded.
And see, and now knowing that you have a kid on the way too, how much does that now, like when you have that as like a why, like when I talk to you guys about writing out your vision, ultimately the reason is to really get clear on your why. Why are you doing this? And it has to be more than just the money. If it's only money, you're going to get to a point where you make that amount and then it's like, well, now what do I do? What do I do? Right? But now you have a why so strong, and I don't think I can really think of a why stronger than having a kid. I can't even describe that because I've never even had that feeling. But now it's like there's no way. There's absolutely no way that I can stop now. There's nothing. There's literally nothing that can now get in my way because if I give up, I'm not giving up on myself. I'm giving up on my kid. I can't give up on my kid. You know what I mean? And now guess what? You take that mentality into everything, and that's going to affect everything that you do now because you're always thinking about that why. Why are you doing it? Then when it gets tough, when you run into things that are a little bit struggling, that you run into issues, it doesn't matter because think about how small that is in comparison to your vision and where you want to be. It's literally a speed bump. You don't drive your car up to a speed bump and then go, ah, shit, I can't make it. I guess I can't go. Okay, I can't. I'm done. Right? You're gonna push through and go and do it. And it's been awesome because I want you guys to hear to think about this because I can relate a lot to the way a lot of you guys think and with certain things. And I neglected personal development a lot, and I actually neglected mentorship from Cam quite a bit when I first got started. I came in and I had a pretty big ego, and I believed that. You know, like, yeah, I saw Cam had the results that I wanted, and I listened to certain things, but then it would almost be like, yeah, okay, I listened to what he said, but then I would kind of try and do it my own way. You know what I mean? And I would try to do it my own way, and I would fail and fail and fail, and I'd go to Cam, what's going on? Did you do this? Did you read books? Did you listen to audios? No, Cam, I want to make money. You know? And I kept running into all these blocks all over the time. What did Justin do that was different than what I did? He didn't question it. He just said, no, you know what? You have the results. I'm just going to do what you tell me to do. Because if you're doing it and it's getting you results, if I do it, I'm going to get results. That's how it works. The equation, me plus action and following direction equals the results. And this is why in 4 months he gets to doing a $10,000 a month. I have not seen anyone in the industry that's come in that has never had success before that's created a $10,000 a month in 4 months. I haven't. It took me 2 years. Right? And so I want you guys to think about that, because look at where Justin was when he started. Look at where I was when I started. Look at where David was when we started. We didn't have any special thing that was going to help us. You know what I mean? All we did was come in and follow what the leaders and the people that had the results that we wanted, and we followed what they did. And the faster we implemented that, the faster we started to see success. It took me forever because I didn't listen. but Justin listens. Even David comes in. He got a sale on his first webinar he ever did. It took me 6 months to get my first sale, and David's like, I'm going to get mine on my first webinar. And he comes in and he does it. Why? He was so confident in the fact that he was going to do it. He knew he was going to crush it when he came in. He knew. That's why when things come up, he handles it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't faze him. He keeps progressing and moving forward, and that's why he's on track to crush out more than 10K this month, because there's nothing that can come up that's going to make him go, oh, yeah, well, that's it. I'm done. You know, I can't do it. Because when you really when you're looking at your vision and what this is going to do for you, the lifestyle that you're going to be able to live. I mean, Justin, just to compare, like all three of you guys on the panel right now, 5%. There's only a 5% success rate in this industry. A 5%. And the like success rate, they qualify as being like full-time that make $3,000 a month. Right? So I want you guys to really look at like the success stories that you guys are be able to create, because guess what? If David can do this, if Justin can do this, if I can do this, if Carlson could do this, every single one of you guys watching this right now can do this. There is the only difference between us and you right now is the time and the energy that you put in, and it's whether it's if you're willing to be coachable and follow stuff. And I can totally get when we say a lot of the times people come in and they want to know the strategies. It's like what are the special ads you're putting up? What is the special video you're using? None of that shit matters, to be honest. Yes, you need a proven system that converts, but guess what? How come everyone in this place has the exact same system, yet Justin comes and crushes out 10K, or David comes and is on pace to do 10K, or Carlson does 10K, or Ray does 50K? Why is that? Because they're focusing on completely different. Now you guys, when you really start getting into the personal development stuff and you know where you're going and you always have that in mind and you believe that you're actually going to do it, all of a sudden your ads start converting better. All of a sudden your pages start converting better. All of a sudden everything starts to fall into place to get you to that goal, right? Because that's what you're focusing on. If you're not focusing on your goal, how are you ever going to get there? It's like if you wanted to go from here to France, but you didn't even have a map, and you didn't even know where France was, and you just started and went to go. 99% of the time, you're never going to make it there unless you randomly come across a route that's going to get you there. But if you have a map and you go, I'm here, France is over here, and I'm going to keep progressively moving forward that way, 99% of the time, as long as you don't stop, you're going to get there. Right? This is why, again, we have you guys go over your vision and go over a lot of stuff. And Justin, I love hearing that story and seeing where, you know, for those of you guys that are saying, like, I don't have an advertising budget. I don't have money to do this. I don't have money. Justin came in with on EI, not having the money to do so. But what did he do? He focused on the solution and goes, hey, you know what? If I keep doing the same things, I'm going to be in the same boat. And now I'm about to have a kid. I need to do something different. I need to take different actions. I need to do whatever the hell I need to do in my power to get set up. And then when I'm set up, I need to do everything in my power to come up with this, with money for advertising, even if it's only $150 a month. How much was your budget at first? You're muted right now.
Yeah, 150 for the first month.
How many of you guys in here in the group right now have more than $150 a month marketing budget to start with? The majority that I've seen with people that come in have a bit more than that. Right?
Honestly, everybody has it.
Thank you.
Everybody has it. I mean, and it just comes down to, you could be sitting there, just flat broke, But at the end of the day, it just comes down to if you want it bad enough. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And I don't say that in any disrespectful way to anybody out there that's in struggles, because everybody sitting here has had our fair share of struggles, and we know what it's like. But it really comes down to just wanting it bad enough, and that's the conclusion that I came to. Look, I work 8 to 10 hours a day in a regular job, and I work 5 to 6 hours a day on an online business, plus doing, at least trying now to do an hour of personal development. I bust my ass literally 7 days a week. I'm to the extreme where, like, I need to take a step back before I burn myself out. But it's that passion and desire of really wanting it that bad, and not just wanting to be successful in this business that bad, but whatever that end result, whatever that goal, whatever that you're trying to achieve, the reason you started into this business, the reason you came in and got involved, wanting it that bad that you're willing to do whatever it takes to get there. And until you get to that point mentally that you are willing to do whatever the hell it takes to get to whatever that end result is that you're looking for in this business, in life, you're not going to have it. You will not achieve it until you want it more than anything you've ever want. A famous quote: until you want to succeed more than you want to breathe, you won't be successful. And it's the truth. You have to really want it so bad that you'll give anything for it. And I don't care who you are or what shit you have in your life or whatever, you can find $150 or $300 or $500 if you really want this bad enough. If you want it that bad, because this is the ticket. No matter what anybody says, this can be your reality. Being successful in this business can be your reality. The system is there. It's proven over and over again. I have several people on my team that have come in, right away and had $1,000 months, and easily, just made money right away. The system is there. You just have to really put 100% of your mind into it and want it bad enough to be successful.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and that's really one of the biggest things, because when you want it is that, and it was funny right before you said that quote. I'm gonna mute you for 1 sec. I hear a feedback. Oh, that's good. Never mind. So it was funny right before you, frick. Yeah, there we go. Right before you said that quote, I was gonna point it out and be like, if you want success as bad as you want to breathe, like that's when you're gonna have, and that there's nothing more true than that. The people that want it bad enough, and sometimes it takes being in a really shitty situation to make you want it bad enough, right? This is why sometimes when people come in and they're already making decent money, right, and they're not really in that big of a struggle, they don't really have that fire to push them farther to get that. But when you're in a situation, like if you have everything and it all gets taken away from you, now you're like, you know what, like even you've had a taste, and then you're back to here, you're like, dude, I don't ever want to be here. I know what it's like to be up here. I'm going to do whatever the hell I need to get out. Or if you're like Justin, and you're like, I can barely come up with the money to get started right now. Now I'm in that position where I don't ever want to be in that position again, and I'm going to do whatever the hell I need to do to get out of it, right? One thing I want to touch on, actually, David, that you mentioned that you're feeling like you're getting burnt out. Because you're working a lot. See, this is the thing. When you want something bad enough, you're going to work a ton. I can remember countless times where I'm like 7 days a week before I made my first $10,000 a month. I would work, I would come home, work on my business, sleep, go to work, come home, work, go, you know what I mean? And it was a cycle like that. What I would really, the book that we're reading in AWOL Elite right now is The Power of Full Engagement. And for those of you guys, if you guys have an extremely busy work schedule and you find it hard to find time to do things, or you find that when you do things that you're not as productive as you think you could be, it's an extremely good book, and he goes over a lot of different situations of people that are in high-level CEO jobs, people running their own business, all different situations, and all different people with different experiences. Some people had not enough time they were spending with their family. Some people were getting burnt out at their job. And what it does is it kind of really lays out how you can kind of take where you are right now and be the most productive possible. Make sure that you're not getting to a point of burnout. You do take the time to relax. You do have some days where you just unplug and spend time with the family. You do have times in between your work schedules where you take time to have fun. do something that you enjoy that makes you not think about business, so that when you come back into working, that you're not as kind of like, you know, you take time for yourself to get, you know, have fun, and then when you go back into work, you take that mindset into work and you're refreshed, you're back in, you're going to be way more productive. But I honestly, David, that book, I've doubled my productivity probably, and I haven't even finished the book yet. And I know it's, yeah, right there. Eric's got it. That was one. I'm honestly, and it's not really like mindset, personal development stuff. It's literally all just how to be as productive as you possibly can and be fully engaged in everything that you do, not just business, but your work, your relationships, everything, and how to be fully engaged and present in every one of those things. And because you're already killing it, it's not about you not putting the effort in. You're putting in more effort than pretty much everyone in this group if you're going 7 days a week. Now it's about still we don't want to get you burnt out. You don't want to ever get to the point where, you know, you're at, you know, because that's a shitty place to be in too, because now all of a sudden, especially when you're working 8 to 10 hours a day and then working on a business and then trying to find time for personal development, there's a lot of shit. There's a lot of stuff there. And so when you can take the time to be like, okay, well, yes, I need to get all of this stuff done, but how can I do it in a way where I still have time for myself? Because I need to know why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this just to work and work and work and work and work and get stressed out. I'm doing this because I want to still be able to have time to have fun and time to reset. And the thing is that rest is just as important. David, you go to the gym, I think, pretty much. I see you drinking protein shakes all the time. Why do you have rest days? Or why do you rest in between muscle groups? It's just as important because you need to recover in order to go full out the next time you do that muscle group. Right? Which is just the same thing as when you're doing business. Why do you need to take time for yourself and go have fun? So that you can relax, you can recover, your brain can recover, and then when you go back, now you have 110% energy again. You know, just like when you're going to the gym and you don't do chest every single day. Or whatever, because you're just going to keep breaking it down and down and down. Your energy level is going to go down and down and down and down and down. You can only sustain that for so long. I see this in my uncle, who's the one that I said that owns the butcher shop where I worked at. He works every single day, has not had a day off in 5 years. It's not that he doesn't have a good work ethic. He probably has a better work ethic than 99% of the people that I know. Why does he struggle? Because it doesn't matter how hard you try and work. Your energy, you only have so much energy that you can apply in a day. You only have so much conscious energy, and you got to be very cautious to how you spend it, and make sure that, you know, figure it out like a gas tank, and you use all your energy on certain things. Eventually, you have to refuel. You got to go to the pump and fill up, right? And so, don't feel. Why I did that was that I felt that if I wasn't working 24/7, that I wasn't getting as much done as I possibly could. That's how I felt, and so I had to work 24/7, right? What I found is that if by me taking an hour, you know, and taking little breaks all over the time I was putting in was way more productive, and even though I worked a little bit less, and I was still pretty much working a lot, but I was taking, you know, half an hour breaks where I would completely stop, or an hour breaks, or unplugging completely on a certain day, right? And even though now I was taking those times off and not working there, I got more done, right? And it's just making sure that you don't, because getting burnt out is stressful. It's stressful as hell. And so again, just like when you're getting, you know, before you get burnt out, it's kind of like building your well before you need it. Before you do get burnt out, planning for that so that you don't get to that point, because it's not a fun place to be in, because you're already like you're crushing it already. And I mean, this is honestly, even if you did work 24/7, you're probably going to be able to get out pretty quick. But I mean, planning out to do it just so you know that it doesn't matter how, when you're taking those breaks, you have time to refresh, get what you need done, and have time for yourself. And then I mean, already everything else you're doing, you're crushing, right? And it's coming from that fact of you knowing, you know, you want it bad enough, and you've proven that over and over and over again. And it doesn't matter if you get an ad account shut down. It doesn't matter if anything comes in your way, because all it is a speed bump. Now, we got 15 more minutes, and I want to bring out my brother, Carlson, who I've known for the last 2.5 years, and it was funny. I made those posts about David and Eric and Justin all crushing out 10K or getting pretty close to there, and it was just funny because it made me think about Carlson when we were at Denver. We went to our first event, so I had a similar experience to when Justin was in Hawaii with us. That's why I say, guys, whenever we do an event, do whatever the hell in your power you need to do to get to that event. I cannot possibly even give you guys the amount of value that you guys are going to get when you're you're sitting right beside us having conversations. It's not even the event. It's like when you go and you come over to our hotel room or you come out to dinner with us and you have those private conversations and you're able to kind of dig in. But me and Carlson, we're at that place, and we're really the only ones that stuck it out the longest time. And this is what happens when you just we wanted it bad enough, we kept going. But we got to that first event, and I had to stretch to really get there. And I'm pretty sure Carlson was in a very similar place. And we had to stretch to get there. But we got to that event. I met you for the first time, and I was like, dude, like, this guy is so freaking awesome. We had so much fun. We still, partied, had a good time, but we got stuff done. We learned a lot at that event, and we came to that realization at that event. We had a little group of us we called ourselves the Champa Tribe because we would go to this Champa. We were on Champa Street. That was the house that we were on, and so we just said then and there, we just knew we're gonna do it. We're gonna do everything in my power, anything, no matter what comes up, no matter what happens, no matter how many speed bumps get in the way, we're gonna figure it out. And so Carson, I'd love for you to come in and really get deep and kind of share where you were even before this, and then kind of like what you've been able to do so far.
It's awesome, man. I appreciate you, Jay. Yeah, it's been a wild ride since then, huh, man? Things have changed, and I know we both wanted to getting to this position, but we believed and we knew, and we kept hustling and working hard, and this is where it happens. You know what I mean? And now you're in a leadership position. Now you're building up other leaders. And guys, this is this kind of stuff that happens. And I'm going to go right back to what he said a minute ago. Get to the next event. I don't care. You have to be at the event. If you got to start an envelope right now, start putting $5, $10 a day in an envelope, and just say this is for my trip to wherever they're going next. Start doing whatever it takes to get to the events, guys, because that's where everything's always happened. It's always changed. It's the conversations that you have. It's not always such the if you do this, this, and this, then they're gonna get results. No, it's these conversations. It's little things that you pick up that all add, and you can't just write it all down and give it to you that way. So you have to be at the event. That's where everything happens. And if it wasn't for the events, I wouldn't be in a position that I'm at now. I wouldn't have the friendships. I wouldn't be on this webinar this way. None of this would be happening if I didn't stretch to get to every single event. I mean, really stretch, guys. I mean, before this all started, I was broke personal trainer. I've been in the industry for over 10 years. A lot of you guys have already heard my story. I failed and bought everything you could to try to make money online, but that was the kind of the piece that I was missing until I met Cam, my mentor. I was trying to make money online. I wasn't learning how to build a business online, and that was a real big differential point for me, because beforehand I was like, oh, if you buy this system, you hit the button and you're going to get all these traffic, and then people are going to buy from you, and it's awesome. Well, it's not really how it works. And you get some of the things work for a while, but it wasn't until finding a community of people and getting plugged in that everything really, really changed. You know what I mean? It was learning the things from Cam, hearing those conversations, but getting to those events is where everything, where all the value is really picked up, guys. And like I said, going back to the stretching part, I was in that opportunity that Jang and I met on, and I had already been in there for about a year, a little over a year. I think I joined in like June, so it was like July when Jang and I met. And I remember I told everybody, right, guys, let me preface this. I was living in my Toyota 4Runner for 8 months before this all happened. So I was living in my truck. I don't know if you guys have ever been sleeping in the back of your truck and have an officer tap on the window and say, hey, you can't sleep here at night. It's pretty embarrassing, but guys, I came out of that experience. A friend of mine let me move into with him, and I started getting my life going again. I found another opportunity online. I believed in the company. I still believe. I think they're a really good company. But I failed again. Another year had passed, and I got 0 results, no money. I made nothing. In a year had gone by, and I was really, really, really frustrated. I'd already told everybody I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be rich. I'm going to have my own place. It's going to be great. And guys, I didn't have it. I didn't get it. And then decided to seek some mentorship, and it happened all like you seen on the video. I honestly saw a video on my newsfeed, went to the webinar, and I learned about Cam, and that's when it changed. I made sure I got to the next event. I stretched, guys. I didn't have them. I think I showed the Denver dude with like $150. You know what I mean? And that's for eating for the week. That's for all the traveling. You know, you guys can take a cab. I'm all like, can we just get some food to cook at the house? You know, and can I ride with somebody? So, guys, and that happened not at that event, but it happened at 2 more events. Guys, I stretched, and at one point, I still have the video that I sent Cam. I'm going to pull it out someday. I'm going to put it on stage when we get up there. I told Cam about it last time I was there. Guys, I shot Cam a video saying, I want to be there. I'm going to be there. Please don't give up my spot in the mansion. I'm doing everything I can to get there. I got to get there. I'm going to do it, you know. But I'm like, I am literally way broke in the big debt, and then so I actually at that time pawned a camera and my family's ring in order to get to that event. And that was a big catalyst event. That one really changed everything. That's when everything switched on. I started learning Facebook marketing, started getting some traction in the business, and that's when everything started moving, guys. And then from there, it started just getting better and better. Every event, we started having a little more success, and then fast forward up until last year, and everything went boom. You know, it really, you know, we locked in, and you know, it's just been a really fun ride. And so, guys, I say a lot of this stuff to let you guys know that. Especially what Dave was saying earlier too, is like, you know, you can have everything taken away from you, and it's like, how deep is your fire? How deep is your passion to get out from wherever you're at? Like, whatever you want, whether it's just to take better care of your family, or if you're like in really big debt, you know, whatever it is that you want, you've got to have a big enough fire to just, you know, that nothing is going to stop me, nothing's going to slow me down. And guys, you know, inside this community, there's some things that you might like, maybe with the Facebook marketing, you might pull up these metrics, and you might have been taught what you're taught you, but you might be look at the numbers sometimes and not totally understand them, and just step back from them, be afraid to dive in or ask questions, guys. But you've got to remember that there is an answer to every one of your solutions. There always is. There's always an answer and a way to move you forward. I don't know if you guys have heard of the book The Everything Store. It's about the Amazon. I'm actually listening to it right now on Audible, and talk about going through figuring out how to get stuff to work over and over and over and over. I mean, guys, and you're talking hundreds of millions of dollars, right? So, and I just bring that up because you're going to run into challenges as an entrepreneur. And I heard a good quote the other day, at every level there's another devil. That's just how it's going to be. At every level, there's another devil. And I heard Jordan Belfort says, is you're still going to run into problems just like everybody else does, but you're just going to arrive in style. You know what I mean? You're still going to have issues and problems, but guys, it's how you show up to these things right now is how you're going to show up to them in the future. It's how you're going to build a life around you. It's how you're going to attract the things that you want in your life. And success is not like, oh, hey, I want to be successful, and boom, it's tomorrow. You've carried yourself to this point where you're at right now, and that's how you get the results. So you have to practice the personal development. You have to start thinking differently. You have to get in these practices and do the things that the ones who are getting results are telling you how to do, because that's how we all did it. That is, and until you have the results, do not try to reinvent the wheel. There's no sense in it. I failed. Jang failed. We tried to I like what you're saying, Cam, but I'm going to try my way for a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I've been in this industry for 10 years, and I know what I'm doing, right? So, guys, you know, it's just how it goes. And I failed, but it wasn't until I got into this, getting into system, seeing Cam's, you know, notebook. Okay, he does this every single day. He's reading every day. And if you ever hang out with Cam going to an event, he is on his point every single day. Cam kind of laughed at us about in Hawaii. He's like, you guys think there's still a weekend. He said, you guys don't live. There's no weekends anymore. You guys wake up to party. But he says every day has to be your life, your routine, what you're capable of, or not what you're capable of, what you're passionate about, you know. And like something from that's helped out. I want to talk about these 2 books is, you know, the DeMartini stuff that you guys introduced me to in Hawaii is awesome, guys. And something really that I found of really value, and it's really changing my life, and then coupled with this book, make segmenting time for those things, is really like making all your decisions on what your higher values are, and all your decisions start coming from there, you know, and the things that don't match those higher values, you start removing those. You just start, you know what, that doesn't really support that. You know what I mean? Like, say you want to get a healthy, fit body, or you want to make more money. So are you drinking too much or eating too much fast food and not taking care of your body, but you say you want to be healthy and fit? You know what I mean? All the different things. You have to make your decisions based on your higher values. And when you're building this business, guys, you have to realize that there's steps and there's ways to keep moving through it. And you have to keep making those decisions based on your higher values. No matter where you're at, you have to know that success is inevitable if you keep moving forward. It just is. The only people that fail in life are the ones who give up, right? That's it. There's no such thing as what Cam's always saying. There's no such thing as failure. It's just feedback, guys. So, you know, if I can say anything, guys, it's wherever you're at right now is awesome. I don't care if you're in a full-time job and you're just starting this out and you have the vision to get out in 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Even if you don't hit it in 6 months, fuck it, I'll get out in a year. Doesn't matter. You're going to keep moving. You're going to keep doing whatever it takes to get better, because look what happened. If Jang and I didn't make this decision for 2 years ago, what we would be doing? We'd probably still be twiddling our thumbs and trying to figure this out, but we made a decision, drew a line in the sand. We're going to do everything it takes every single time. We get to every single event. We're going to follow exactly what we're told to do, get results. We're going to get in a leadership position that we're going to go out and be able to teach this to people, and here it is. You know what I mean, guys? So I really appreciate you guys. I know we're getting close to the top of the hour. Just, you know, stay course, get clear on your higher visions, what you want to do. And this book right here, I highly recommend picking up. This one's really changing a lot of things. It's really looking at, and I've been, like Jang said, way more productive with my time. And I'm not sitting here for 3-4 hours at a time trying to I can get this done. You know what I mean? I'm breaking things up. I'm taking time out. I'm breaking those up, and I feel rejuvenated and energized, and I feel like on point and like excited to go back to work. You know what I mean? So, you know, guys, just follow your passion, follow your dreams. Keep moving forward every single day, and that's it. I appreciate all you guys.
Dude, this is awesome. I love hearing your story, buddy, and I love hearing all that. All of you guys, David, Justin, you guys too. Guys, I don't know about you guys, but I had goosebumps when Carlson was telling this stuff. Like going from in a car, and I've heard you tell this story before, and I still get goosebumps when I hear that. You know what I mean? And it's just so cool to see you guys. And the reason why we're having everyone come out and share this stuff, because if David can do this, if all of us can do this stuff, every single one of you guys can do this. And if all that is just to really sink that in and give you that belief that you guys know you can do this. Let me know, guys, how many of you guys have got some value tonight. Let me know in the comment section there how many of you guys got some value tonight. I honestly think that this is probably the best hangout that we've had as a team one for definitely since we've been doing them the last little bit. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think, how you guys thought of the webinar. David, Justin, Carlson, I thank you guys so much for coming out. That was awesome. We'll have you guys out more. And now, guys, and this is the thing, when Carlson touched on something like when you're not, don't try and reinvent the wheel until you kind of had success and stuff like that. The reason why we have, you know, Justin now, David, Carlson are going to be coming out. They're $10,000 a month earners. Now they're going to be able to come out and share what they've been able to do to create $10,000 a month, to be able to share it with you guys so that you guys can kind of see what are they doing, how are they working their business, what are some struggles that they've gone through, how has that benefited them, right? And you don't want to be teaching too much until you really have the results to be able to go out and achieve. Once you're making $10,000 a month, now you can teach people how to make $10,000 a month. Until then, don't reinvent the wheel. Follow what your mentor is sharing with you. Follow the training that we're doing. Read every single day. Listen to audios every single day. And as long as you continue to push forward, the only way that you're ever going to fail is if you guys give up. And you're going to come into times where you're going to have times that are frustrating. You're going to come into times where, you know, maybe things aren't working the way that you want it. But if you want it bad enough, you will always find a way. And if not, you'll find an excuse. It's going to be completely depending on how bad you guys really want it. So, guys, I love and appreciate every single one of you guys. Awesome. Everyone's saying they got value. Awesome webinar. I got value from everyone. You guys are awesome. Awesome. I love and appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you all so much. For all of you guys that are going to be, we're right on the hour now. We're going to be jumping over for those of you guys that are in Elite. Make sure you guys hop over there. Cameron and Kiala are going to be starting their webinar right now. So I love and appreciate every single one of you guys. Looking forward to seeing you all on Wednesday. Take care, guys.
See you guys.